back to the Crochet Crowd. I'm your host, Mikey, and today is the Crochet Study of Complicated Blanket, week number 1. In week number 1, we're going to focus on the flowers that are used in the tips, which is the last part of this particular series. So we're doing it first because I find with myself when I prolong something like that, I may just give up on it. So I want to, in week number 1, do all 21 flowers. They're all identical to each other. In the study here, in the paid downloadable, it is 33 pages, and it includes 16 diagrams and schematics altogether, and 33 pictures that you'll see within the document itself. So the free pattern for this is this pattern, but without the diagrams in order to assist. The diagrams take me a very long time to make, so that's why it's a paid downloadable for those. So as you're working your way through, we have a total of 5 colors that you'll see, and we have 2 balls that you'll need of the shocking pink, 2 balls of Red Heart Biddy stripes in the color called Grapey, and then 1 ball of white, 1 ball of dark orchid, and 1 ball of lavender. For your purposes here, and what I got sick and tired of doing, which I've changed my layouts in the last few months, is that I put the colors right here at the bottom of every page so that I don't have to flip through in order for when this changes color, because there's a lot of color changes involved with this. So you're going to see all the information that you'll have available to you, and you'll have the abbreviations that will take you through the whole thing, and then tips for counting per side, and also later on there's tips for counting for when it's in a star format. So what we're going to do is begin, and we're going to do the flower just like you see. You make 21 of these things. They're pretty easy to make, probably over a couple nights that'll take you to do it, and without further ado, we're going to get involved with that. If you like, there is a crochet diagram available to you that you'll be able to download when you get the paid downloadable, and it's also for the base of the flower plus then the standoff part. The trick is to make sure that you leave enough yarn at the beginning of the project for each one of those flowers so that you can use it to sew it on later. Without further ado, let's begin. So let's begin. I want you to leave a longer tail that you'll use to put this onto a tapestry needle at the end to attach it to the tip of each one of these. So you'll need 21 of these flowers, then create a slip knot. Okay, so that you don't want to weave this in after it's done. You want to do it after it's attached to your blanket. So pull that up, and we are going to chain a total of 2. 1 and 2, and then begin the first round. There's not very many rounds on this. I think there's a total count of 7 rounds altogether. Round number 1, we're going to go second chain from the hook, which is the very starting, and you're going to place in 6 single crochet. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So once you have 6 done, I want you to slip stitch it. Now I always find with myself is that I have a hard time capturing both of the loops. So what I've been doing is just grabbing one of them and just saying it's good enough for me. You really don't even notice at the end because of the coloring. So you can do that and make sure that you do have your 6 that are all the way around, and move on to round number 2. Round number 2, you're going to chain up 1, and in the very first one where you joined, you're going to place in 2 single crochet. And then each one of the 5 that are left, use the regular stitches though, and just put in 2 into each. So the way that I would count it is that I would say to myself, this was 2 and 2. So I did 1 and 1, 2 and 2, and then 3 and 3. So it's sharing the same stitch, and then 4 and 4. Next one, 5 and 5. And then I want to do the last one of 6 and 6. And by counting it this way, when you go to do this, this always looks like a stitch, but it's not. So when you count it the way that I do, you can be confident that you have 6 and 6 done. Slip stitch it to the top of the first single crochet, and that will conclude off round number 2. Round number 3, chain up 1, and you will apply 1 single crochet into the same one as the join. Go into the regular stitch, and then go into your next one and put 2 into the same one. So 2 and 2. That's how I say it in my head. So the next one is 1 single crochet by itself, and the next one is 2 and 2. So 2, 1, and 2 equals 2. So that's why I say 2 and 2. So the next one is 1. The next one is 2 and 2. 2 and 2. And I'm doing this all the way around. So 1 into the next, and then 2 and 2. 1 into the next, and 2 and 2. And I keep doing that until I get close to the end. So 1 and 2 and 2. So 2 and 2 should be the last stitch before you're joining. And if you want to verify the counts that's been provided to you on there, there's 18 single crochet. So there should be 18 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. When you go to slip stitch on this one, I need you to slip stitch in the back loop only, and it's important that you do that. So slip stitch in the back loop because that's where you need to start, because the next round is only in the back loop. And let's move on to round number 4. So round number 4, we're still going to get a little bit bigger, but only play within the back loops only. So just chain up 1, right? You've already joined in the back loop, so just stay in the back loop. So you're going to have 2 in a row that's by itself. So we have 1 and then 1. So that was 2 by itself. Or sorry, yeah, 1 into each, so they're by themselves, and the next one has 2 into the same one, so 2 and 2. So the way I say it in my head is that the next 2 are by themselves, so I say 1's by itself, another 1 by itself, so 1 and 1, and then the next one has 2 into the same one, so 2 and 2. And what you're doing is you're keeping a line that will appear on the top that you'll use later. So continuing along, so we have 1 and 1, and then 2 into the same, so 2 and 2. So 1 and 1 and 2 into the same, so 2 and 2. So 1 and 1 and 2 into the same. So we have 1 and 1 and then 2 into the same. So that you should end up with the last stitch being 2 into the same one. Remember, this space here is just a reflection of this, so it's not a stitch. So when you go to slip stitch it, slip stitch it to the regular top of a single crochet, and what this has done is it's left you a line that you'll see right here, and you'll be playing with those on your final round later on. Let's move on to round number 5. Round number 5, chain up 1 and apply 1 single crochet into the first one. And then you were going to chain a total of 3. So 1, 2, 3, skip 1 and single crochet in the next. And you're going to do that all the way around. So chain 3, skip 1, single crochet in the next. And let's do that all the way around. So chain 3, skip 1, single crochet in the next. Chain 3, skip 1, single crochet in the next. Chain 3, skip 1, single crochet in the next. Chain 3, skip 1, single crochet in the next. 1, 2, 3, so chain 3, skip 1, single in the next. Chain 3, skip 1, single crochet the next. Chain 3, skip 1, single crochet the next, and you're doing this all the way around. Skip 1, single crochet the next, chain 3, skip 1, single crochet the next, and this is going to leave you with 1 stitch left. So this is part of the reflection of the first one that you don't ever use, but this is technically your last stitch, and in order to get here you have to chain 3 first and then single crochet, slip stitch to the first single crochet. So when you get all the way around, right, just like you see, you're going to have 12 of these petals. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I need you to fasten this off. I would recommend, but it's your call because it's your life, is to weave in your ends as you go. So give it a good tug. Don't waste too much yarn. The dark orchid you're going to need the most of. You'll use most of the ball. You won't play yarn chicken, but you'll get pretty close. Okay, and you are going to just weave in your ends right to one of the points on the back side. The dog hair is included in today's tutorial. I got 2 Great Pyrenees if you don't already know that. Okay, so we're just weaving back and forth a total of 3 times. And we don't worry about that starting strand. We leave it as is, so we're going to keep that and we don't deal with that until the end of the project. And now we're ready for your next round, number 6. With your new color that we have, in this case is Shocking Pink, we are going to put it onto the hook, and you can go into any one of these chain 3 loops and just do an attachment with a standing single crochet. How you do that with this already on the hook, go right into the space, yarn over and pull the yarn through, and see the 2 loops, pull through 2, that's a standing single crochet. So this particular, each one of these petals are going to always be the same. So we have 1 standing, so we have to put a half double crochet into the same one, then a double crochet, so we want a little bit bigger, and now we want a little smaller, so we're going to do half double crochet, and then finally single crochet. So there's a total of 5 stitches per one of these loops. Throw this to the back and you'll get rid of that. You'll weave it in later. So going to your very next petal, here's the repeat. Start off with a single, and then a half, a double, a half, and a single. And just to repeat one more time with what you have. Next loop, so a single, half, double, half, and single. Please repeat this all the way around, and I'll see you at the end of the round. Coming around on the last one, I want to show you how to finish so that you don't end up with a lump on the outside of your flower. So the last loop is handled the same way. So single, half, double, half, single. Once you get your last single here, what I want you not to do is to join it to the beginning, because you end up with a lump. And so just cut it long enough that you can use that through a tapestry needle and pull this out. Put that onto a tapestry needle, and I need you to do a nice invisible join. And what this does is that you take this strand here and you'll go through the first single crochet from the back to the front, like that, and pull through. That pulls that into there, and then turn it around to the back, and then just weave it through the back side a total of 3 times. Okay, make sure that comes right out to the knot area, pull it tight. So just don't go between the plies, just don't go between the strands, go between the plies as well to really get it stuck into position. And once that's done, you can safely cut. So when you create a slip knot and slip stitch and stuff, it creates a lump, but in this case what it does is it makes it more even looking. So what we want to do now is we want to go back to the front loops that were left over here, and we're going to complete your final round with the same color we just played with. So here's the video tip for you today. So we're going to go back to where these loops were right here on this round. Is the front loops. See how there's an abnormal look here? That's because of a slip stitch, and I want you to go to the first one that is before that happens. So I'm working this way. So with the yarn already on the hook, go into the front loop that is before this abnormal look. You'll thank me later. So then just going in, and we're going to do a standing single crochet. You are then going to chain 1, and in the next one, which is after the abnormality, it's right here. Okay, this is going to fill in that space so it looks invisible. You are going to place in 2 double crochet there. So just grabbing the front loop only is a little awkward at first, but you'll get used to it, and put in 2 double crochet. Noticing that I'm going up over top of the straggler as well. Then you're going to chain 1 and single crochet into the next open stitch, the front loop only. So I've now just gone over the straggler a few times, so I'm just going to push it to the back and get it out of the way and carry on. So to move on, just chain up 1, and the next front loop right here is 2 double crochet, and you're going to do this all the way around. After that, chain 1, single crochet into the next one that's available. Chain 1, 2 double crochet into the next. Okay, and I need you to repeat that all the way around. So just make sure you chain 1 before a group of double crochet and a chain 1 after with single crochets that are in between. I'll be back at the end of the round. And coming all the way around, the last one before you started should be 2 double crochet. And then chain 1, but do not attach it with your hook. I want you to do the same thing you did before. Just cut a little bit so you got a little bit of length, and then use your tapestry needle to weave that in. Okay, so attach to the, going from back to front to the first single crochet, just pull it. It will pull it into it, turn it to the back side here, and weave it back and forth through the plies a total of 3 times. So if you opt not to do the flowers on this particular project, that's okay too. You don't have to, but it's what makes it the flower bouquet at the end. So just weave it back and forth, the more times the better. And you need to make a total of 21 of these bad boys. So now I have 1 done. And so this one here, I could actually just trim that and just hope for the best, but why bother? Just put it onto your tapestry needle and really secure that. If you're gonna put that much work into this thing, you might as well just finish it out properly and weave in your ends through a tapestry needle. Okay. And then after all is said and done, just trimming your ends. I would recommend that you weave in your ends as you go. The very starting strand that you would have had on this one here, I would also weave that in. It's already going to be locked in anyway, but just weave it through one more time just to have peace of mind. Spend the few minutes it takes just to have no reason for that to pop out on you. And whatever you do, don't weave in the very beginning one, because you're going to need that one in there in order to attach it to the outside. So I'll see you next time, week number 2.